My name's Patrick Sullivan, and my story is I'm a storyteller. What I'm committed to, amongst a number of things, is telling the story of my son Finn. And Finn was 21 months old, or just shy of 21 months old, when he was diagnosed with a rare form of childhood cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. We went into treatment, and at the time, just to give some context to it, Finn's a twin brother. So we had two 21 months old, and his older sister was just shy of her 4th birthday. So we went into treatment with Finn and did all the things you were supposed to do. We traveled to Boston for specialized treatment. We traveled to Spokane for specialized treatment. But at the end, when we thought we were through, the disease came back. I got to hear the word incurable for the first time. Unfortunately, not the last. And Finn died. But there's a temptation when anyone dies, or when a child dies, that Finn's story is he got cancer and he died, and that's the end. And that is not Finn's story. Finn's story is about a boy who lived. About a boy who ran and jumped and bounced and danced and sang and loved and smiled and rode. We tell the story of Finn, we tell the story of the importance of seizing life and living it, but we also tell the story of the importance of the funds that we're raising to give other people a better chance, to change the story for others. Here in British Columbia, we're in a fairly amazing place in terms of cancer research. The research that happens at the Cancer Agency is their specialty is very heavily genomically based in doing genetic sequences. And that type of work offers the opportunity for better treatments, better answers, certainly better knowledge. When I'm on my bike, I listen to podcasts. And I'm a self-admitted geek. And I'm listening to a podcast from Australia, and it's a science show where the Australian podcaster is interviewing an English scientist from Cambridge, and they're talking about genomics and the advances in genomics, and how 10 years ago it cost $2 billion to do one human genome. And they're talking about how now the price has come down significantly to the point where the goal is $1,000 genome. And they're talking these very broad terms about it, when the interviewer essentially says, without saying it this way, so what? What does that mean? And as a practical example, the Cambridge scientists referred to work being done at the Cancer Agency in British Columbia. And a study that was done where a patient was had a metastatic tongue tumor. And so they took the genetic sequence of the tumor, the genetic sequence of the metastatic disease, and the genetic sequence of healthy tissue. And they ran that through their machines, and they looked at it, and this tumor wasn't responding to anything. There was no treatment that was working for it. When they looked at it, they said, this looks like a lung tumor. And they said, we have this medicine on the shelf over here, this chemotherapy agent. Let's try it, because it works with lung tumors. And the tumors receded by 70%. Right? And there are treatments out there that are called targeted therapies, that are genetically based treatments that have changed full body radiation into a pill that a patient takes for the rest of their lives. So I'm driven to tell the story, but it's also important to raise the funds so that the Cancer Agency can do the research that they're doing, so that there's better answers for kids in the futures, there's better answers for families in the futures, and there's better answers for adults in the future. The event is the Ride to Conquer Cancer. It's a 2-day trip cycling from Vancouver to Seattle. It is an amazingly well-run event. It is an amazing emotional experience. To ride with people of all shapes and sizes who are doing this for a reason, and the reasons vary. This ride has allowed the Cancer Agency to do a lot of things that it wouldn't have been able to do but for the funds that have been raised. So this ride, my goal is the ride or through whatever vehicle to see 33 pediatric tumor groups sequenced. And to do that, it's going to require money. And it's not going to just require one ride to Seattle, it's going to require several. But I don't want to do that because I want to do it in the abstract. It's so we get better answers to these questions, so that we get better medicine, so that we get better treatment, so that we get better results, and so that we change the story.